Okay, everybody. I know a couple people are going to come in late, but we're going to get started. So, welcome to Coco the Experience. I know we've been gone for a few weeks or whatever, but we have had time to re energize, reevaluate, and we are back. The team will be back on the show soon. But tonight is just you just get me, the lovely Coco, and we have Miss Drea Boykins from Mystical Vibrations on tonight, and we're going to be talking about chakras, healing, energy, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to bring Miss Drea in, and she's going to introduce herself, and then after that, we'll get started. Okay? Hey,
Hey
Drea,
everybody.
welcome to Coco Experience, baby.
Thank you for having me.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, can't complain. So let's introduce you to the audience. Tell us about you and what you do.
My name is Drea Boykins. I am getting ready to be 28 years old from Birmingham, Alabama,
Whoop
born
whoop.
and raised. I am a healer by trade. I am also a loctician and a tarot reader. Mainly in my day to day business, I help people heal as they travel through their spiritual journey and provide them with guidance and insight. And most of the time, just a listening ear and being a friend to them as they go through their journey.
Okay. So let's talk about your business, mystical vibration. What is
Yes.
vibrations and why did you name it that?
Mystical Vibrations is a spiritual based business that specializes in custom copper wrap crystal jewelry, tarot readings, vent sessions, and recently we added our loctician services. I started my business after being in a place in my life where I had to dig into myself to stand on my own 2 feet.
Hmm.
When I first started making crystal jewelry, I did have a partner, and oftentimes life leads us where we have to go our separate ways from people. And in me going my separate way, I prayed to my ancestors and I asked for guidance about what I should do for my business. And the name Mystical Vibrations was given to me. And from that day, I just started at first off with the continuing doing the crystal jewelry, and then later the loctician services came, as well as the tarot readings and the vent sessions. So just literally walking in my purpose and moving through spirit.
Okay. And let's talk about the beautiful piece that you have on tonight on your
Yes, this is actually a piece I recently made myself for my
I
birthday.
had a so
I'm
okay.
sorry, it cut out.
And what stones do you have? Okay.
Um,
What
this
stones do
piece
you have?
This piece features lapis lazuli and black obsidian. And like you said, it is for the throat chakra as well as protection stones because I always believe in adding protection stones.
Okay. So let's jump right into what we're here for. What are chakras? Let's explain that. A lot of people don't know about because a lot of people think it's evil, it's voodoo, but let's educate the people on tonight about what are chakras and so forth.
Well, first of all, chakras, anything related to spirituality in general, nothing about it is evil. Spirit is you. You are spirit. We all are one. So there's nothing evil about tapping into yourself and realizing that we all are connected. The chakras are the energy centers of the body. They regulate everything from the nerves in your body, your muscles, your emotions, how you love and navigate through the world, and even how you communicate in your voice that's put out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And having your chakras open and aligned is very, very important because it also can lead to different ailments and sicknesses in the body when different chakras are blocked.
Okay. And how do you know if they're open?
Um, Honestly, it's being fully aligned with yourself, feeling fully aligned with yourself. So you'll know when You feel fulfilled when you feel whole, when you feel like you are on the right path, when you feel like you are headed in the right direction, when you feel like you are walking in your purpose, you are able to connect with the universe and be open and be free in your thinking and not judgmental. Like it's literally a feeling of, not to say that you got it all together, but you'll know when you're open and you're aligned and you're on the right path. And you'll
Mm,
also know when you're feeling blocked and those feelings of, okay, something's not right. I can't
right,
quite put my finger on it, but something's not right. When you get those kinds of signs and symptoms, it does mean that something is not right. And you need to look into yourself to figure out what blocks you have inside of yourself.
right. And definitely the energy when something is blocked, because like the last few weeks was rough for me, and I haven't been making any of my products because I do believe that you can transfer that energy into your product,
Yes.
and you don't want that energy to get into somebody else. So it's almost like cross contamination, just like if a person was sick and then they make you some food or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that is going into their food. So it's the same way with energy. So I haven't been making any of my products because I didn't want anybody to have that energy that I was, that I was giving off. So I waited until I was in a better energy zone before I started back making my products, and that's so important. And people have to understand that when you're off balance, sometimes you're not even giving. If you are doing products and making products or so forth, that you're not giving it your best. So it's
Yes.
best to do it when you're in the right energy.
And that's a big difference between us who hand make our products and just going in the store getting a manufactured product. Like our
Mm-hmm.
intentions go into everything that we do, and whether it is a direct attention or a subconscious intention, it's gonna go in there regardless. So if you having a bad
Mm-hmm.
day, and let's just say for example you've had a fight with your significant other, or you had a really bad day at work and you just been boohoo crying, and you making drinks, all of that energy that you feeling, you to put it right into that cup, into
Mm-hmm.
that pitcher. And then when somebody drink it, they could be in had a good day and all of a sudden they feel sad out the blue or they feel angry and they don't even know where these feelings coming from. And it's because your energy wasn't right when you gave them what you gave them. So
Right.
yes, it's very important. That's
Right.
why the event that I'm having is called Energy is Currency, because it is true.
Yeah. So that's why I don't make y'all drinks and stuff when I'm not feeling right, because I want to be fair to everybody.
And I can tell the difference. And I'm sure you can tell and getting my products the difference as well.
Mm-hmm. You really can. So now we're gonna what are the seven chakras and what do they mean? And it's
Okay, so
I go through them so we can educate the people. I believe in education.
yeah, so this is a little bit of a mouthful of information, but it's very important. And we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to work our way to the top. So the first chakra is the root chakra. It is located at the base of the spine. Typically, the color that's used to represent it is red. This is your root. This is your foundation, your security of yourself. And oftentimes, you will hear people refer to grounding, getting grounded, not feeling grounded. And that means not feeling safe and secure within yourself and within earth. So, a good way to keep that chakra unblocked would be to go outside and ground. And that simply means taking your naked feet, putting it to the earth, 20 minutes walking in the grass, and reconnecting with Mother's Earth energy. It's a really good way to stay open and connected. The next chakra is going to be our sacral chakra. That chakra is right above the root chakra, just below the belly button. That is where our sensuality, our sexuality, our sexiness, reproductive organs, sex drive, and creativity lies. That color is typically represented by orange. And orange is like a sexy, feel good color. So that definitely makes sense with
Like
that
energy.
correlation. Mm-hmm. The next chakra is going to be our solar plexus. This one is represented by yellow. This one is right above the belly button. And this is where our ego lies, our inner fire, um, really who we are at the core, self esteem. So, Good way to keep both the sacral and the solar plexus open is through dance. Shoot, for us, twerking. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they try to say a lot of times, like, oh, twerking's ratchet, whatever people want to say, but it's not. It literally goes back to our ancestors when you really do your research. And it's a good way to keep those chakras open because it gives you that sexy, confident energy, and it helps your creativity flow, especially when you're dancing freely and you're just having fun, making up a dance routine, whatever the case may be, you're able to flow free and be open.
Mm-hmm.
So the next chakra, which is one of my favorites, is the heart chakra. Of course, that's where our love and our compassion lies, our ability to love others and to show empathy. That chakra is represented by the color green, and a good way to keep that chakra open is by doing kind deeds. And I'm not saying, like, how the generation we live in now, people like to do nice things for people and record it and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm talking about like going out and genuinely being nice with somebody, being empathic towards someone's situation, being a real listening ear to someone, and allowing them to be, for you to be that shoulder for them to lean on. Those are good ways to keep your heart chakra open. Our next is our throat chakra. I know that's one that me and you have talked about previously.
Mm-hmm.
And the throat chakra is just what it says. It's our throat, it's our communication, it's our voice in the world, and the way that we express ourselves. A good way to keep that chakra open is using your voice, not allowing yourself to be silenced, not allowing people to overtalk you, not being afraid to stand up for yourself. It's a really good way to keep that open. And a sign of that one being closed, which it's one that I found out not too long ago. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Is people who gossip a lot, they have closed throat chakras. And you
Oh.
would think, like, oh, they're gossiping, they're always using their voice. But yeah, true enough, they're using it, but they're using it for the wrong reasons. So people who engage in a lot of gossip, cattiness, or those people who are very domineering in conversations, always over talking people, not allowing them to get their point across, those are
Mm-hmm.
people with closed throat chakras.
Okay.
So our next chakra is our third eye. That is right in the center of the forehead. That is our intuition. That is our ability to see the bigger picture, being a manifester, using your imagination. Basically, that is our true connection to the bigger picture. So with that one, a good way to keep that one open is keeping an open mind.
Okay.
Um, like in your case, like how you were willing to break outside of the things that you were taught and go out and explore what it is that is out in the world, and not really commit yourself to one thing, but just taking in knowledge and putting it
Mm-hmm.
all in your pocket. Like, that's a good way to keep your third eye open because you're not allowing the veil to be pulled back over your eyes. Your eyes literally are wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Our last chakra is the crown chakra. That's our awareness, our intelligence, our universal knowledge, and our connection to spirit. So the crown is the connection to everything. It
Mm-hmm.
is the knowing that we are all one and we are all connected. And when I say we are all one, I mean every human, every plant, every animal, every single thing in this universe is all connected and we are all one.
We are. We are all one. I do want to touch on the throat chakra because I purchased the throat chakra stone necklace from you, and
Mm-hmm.
I used to be really outspoken. I probably was too outspoken, and I prayed about it, and it's just like I got stuck. And it was like when I needed to speak up for myself, or kind of in a way defend myself in some areas, it's like I couldn't say it because I cared about everybody else's feelings too much.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is enough. Like I need to speak up. And after I still haven't found that song. I told you I lost it. It's a long
Mm-hmm.
I lost it. And I know it should have been under the dresser, but it wasn't. But you told me that it'll come back when it needs to, because sometimes I can overwork it. Um, I think I probably had about 2.5 weeks, and then it's like I was letting everybody have it and letting them know how I feel and what was what, and this is how it was gonna be. I feel like I lost some folks after that, but I feel so much better. I feel
Lighter. Yeah.
free because it
Yeah.
was what I needed, because I was holding it. I was holding it back so much, and
Mm-hmm.
I was harming me. And so, going back to your crown, like I have to kind of put me first, um,
Yes.
because I need me at the end of the day, and
Mm-hmm.
so much better. And then the protection stone necklace I got from you, that one worked as well. I text you like, hold on, this just happened a little dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
told me this was gonna happen, but it was like a little dramatic, and people were trying to come back in my life at that point. And baby, that song, baby, God and that song, baby, had me covered. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and also another thing that people don't know, and when I hear people say they think that this is all witchcraft and voodoo, is that being in a spiritual church, or whatever, growing up in a spiritual church, we have, if you're really rooted or whatever, you know that these stones don't mean evil things.
Mm-hmm.
And people that grow up in the spiritual church know that what some of these stones means, and that
And they literally come out of the earth.
they come
And
out of earth. And who made the
I've
earth?
like I've personally went to mine crystals, and my relationship with crystals only got stronger after literally digging them out of the earth myself. And
Mm-hmm.
it's such a calming energy when you're there in the mines. Like you could lay on the ground and go to sleep, just the naked ground, and go
Mm-hmm.
to sleep. Like
Yeah.
it's just like that mom energy. It just wraps its arms around you. And to know that people really will not take the glasses off to just look and see and feel and know that, okay, yes, what I was taught is what I was taught, but there's more out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like my cap can come off. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to limit myself. And that's the bigger issue, is that people are not willing to take the cap off to expand their minds and their knowledge. Like they're scared.
They really are. And if you think about it, we need vitamin D. We can get vitamin D from the sun. We can charge
Mm-hmm.
stones with the sun. So
Exactly.
think about how that relates or whatever. We're actually being charged by the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so you have to relate it and make it make sense to you. So why would we charge our stones with the sun, but not charge ourselves with the sun? We need
Exactly. You
it.
you say, "Oh, I can't be out in the sun."
But we need it.
Exactly. Even having asthma, I'm still gonna get my vitamin D.
Because your body needs it, regardless.
Exactly. Like
You
I can breathe clear later. I need my sun.
Because you're gonna have a deficiency if you don't.
Exactly.
So it's definitely needed. Now let's talk about the importance of balanced chakras.
Well, who it is. It is an understatement to say the importance of balanced chakras. I related to having a peace of mind, because without balanced chakras there would be no peace.
Mm-hmm.
Your chakras literally regulate everything. It regulates your health, it regulates your peace of mind, it regulates your identity of self, it regulates your vital and major organ systems. Like your chakras are in charge of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So without taking the time to check in with yourself and making sure that they're balanced, most of most if not all of the ailments and things that we run to the doctor for, if we just checked into ourselves and really studied chakras, learned about them, learned what the signs of blockages are and different things, we wouldn't need the medicine that we're prescribed by the doctors. Like the pharmaceutical industry would be non-existent.
Because we were made to,
We
and
have the ability to heal ourselves.
we
And
need those supplements from the earth in order to heal ourselves.
exactly, because
Mm-hmm.
we are plants, just like the herbs that we need to heal ourselves. They're there.
They definitely are. So everybody that's watching or will come back and watch this episode, I hope that you will be open minded to opening the lenses and actually taking the goodness from chakras and balancing your chakras and actually learn about it because it's so important because we actually need to be balanced. You can tell when something is off. It may not be all your chakras off, but when something is off, it's gonna throw everything off balance sometimes. And so we definitely just self love evaluation sometimes. Take that time for yourself to get to know yourself, know when they're off, know which when you need to work on some other stuff. Because it's so important.
Yes.
Now we're gonna talk about crystal healing. What is crystal healing?
Oh, my favorite. Okay, so I had wrote down a little spiel for this one.
Okay.
So, crystal healing. Crystal healing is the use of crystals for their metaphysical properties. This is achieved by tapping into the energetic power of crystals. This energy can be harnessed by wearing crystals, meditating with them, placing them throughout your home, and even adding them to your drinking water. Just as our bodies give off energy and vibrations, so do the crystals. Crystals are a magical remedy. Sorry.
You're
Are
fine.
magical remedy to end all of your problems. Oh, crystals are not a magical remedy to end all of your problems, but as long as you are doing the work, they will aid you on your journey. So basically, I said all of that to say that just as we give off vibrations and we give off energy, which we all know it, we know we are all composed of energy. Crystals do the same, and they respond to our vibrations and our energy. For my own personal journey with working with crystals, I noticed that when I am at certain places in my life and on my journey, the crystals that I need, they respond to those vibrations that I'm giving out. So if I'm at a place in my life where I'm doing shadow work and I'm working on healing or working with trauma that I've been through and stuff like that, when I choose crystals that possess those unique properties, they are able to help guide me through those times in my life a little more easier than if I had not had them. Or when I'm feeling different ailments in my body or different parts of my body are hurting, if I put different crystals on those areas of my body, I'm able to ease the pain without having to take a pain pill or go to the hospital, things like that. So, really, the crystals they respond to the energy that we give off, and like I said, it's not a magical remedy, but as long as you are doing the work, you are on the right path, they come and they aid you like magic.
Let's talk about shadow work because I everybody doesn't know what it is. So let's
Hmm.
what shadow work is because some people do need to do some shadow work.
Um, Pretty much to me, shadow work is a fancy way of talking about self reflection, talking about looking back, going back to your childhood, going back to your teenage years, going back to your early adult years, and for some adults, even your mid adult years, and really taking a analytical look at everything that you have been through and being able to face the traumas head on. I know in our community, unfortunately, trauma is just something that we all experience, whether it is physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever the case may be. We all in our community have experienced some form of trauma. And most of the time, those are the very things that we end up having to heal from as an adult. And everyone is not willing to look in the mirror and say, okay, I need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really hard thing to admit, and it's really hard to say I need help. And sometimes you can help yourself, and sometimes you need help from someone else, and either case is perfectly okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely.
shadow work, it really requires you to dig deep. it requires you to truly forgive yourself and forgive others who have done wrong against you, and be
Mm-hmm.
able to walk away from it and not dwell on it anymore, and really take your power back from that situation that you allowed to make you feel so low, or to just apologize, because oftentimes we don't like to admit that we do crazy stuff to people too,
Yeah.
and we don't want to admit to it,
And put
because we
ourselves
always
in crazy
we
situations.
always want to be the victim. We always want to look good. It's always woe is me. It's everybody's always against me. No, you've done some crazy stuff too,
Mm-hmm.
and to
And
be
that,
able to admit that,
because sometimes it's harder to forgive yourself for doing some stuff,
yeah.
or just hard to forgive yourself just in general. Because I know I've battled with forgiving myself, or allowing myself to do some stuff that I know I shouldn't have done or been involved in, and forgiving other people is actually easier, but
Hmm.
you got to live with you at the end of the day, and sometimes that's a whole fight within yourself, and you have to just kind of manage it, and you have to do that shadow work in order to say, okay, hey, I want to get out of this funk, and actually really forgive myself. And once you forgive yourself, that's when you can really move on, to me.
Yes, and can't nobody stop you after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hardest thing for me was forgiving myself for things that I did out of hurt.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing, and really telling myself like, hey, you are a child when
Mm-hmm.
those things happen. You cannot judge what you did at 12 with a 27-year-old mind frame. You can't
Mm-hmm.
do that. You
Right.
can always say what you woulda, coulda, shoulda did, but you got to be able to forgive it and let it go. And
Right.
that was hard for me. It took me years to really forgive myself for some of the things that I did, but ultimately I was able to, and I was better for it.
Yeah, definitely. And let's talk about how crystal saved your life.
Well, ooh, I'm not gonna go into the whole story because it is a long story, but long story short, crystals gave me a purpose.
Okay.
Before I started my business, before I started working with crystals, I just was kind of going through life, just existing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on the outside looking in, I had it together. I had the job, I had the marriage, I had the stable place to live. I was in another state, I was doing well, and on paper and on the outside it looked good, but
Yeah.
on the inside I was miserable. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't I didn't know where I was headed. I just kept feeling like I just wanted to belong somewhere, and unfortunately during that time of my life I was led in the direction of something that almost cost me my life, but at the same time it saved my life.
Okay.
And I ended up, like, during this time of my life, I ended up in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And during my stay, I almost passed away. And while I was in my hospital room, I was kind of like in and out. So, like, I kind of was in between being alive and being dead a little bit, like just in and out, because I was just in so much pain. And at this point, I had turned septic,
Mm-hmm.
and they told me, like, if I had waited one more day to come back to the hospital, I would have died in my sleep.
Oh wow.
And while I was laying there, and they were like giving me pain medicine and stuff, nothing was working. I just was in so much pain, and I just was praying to die at that point, because I was just like, I don't want to be in pain anymore. I just want to die. And my grandmother, she came to me and she told me that I had to live. And that was really all it took for me to wake up. Like, okay, Nelma said I gotta live, so I gotta figure out what my purpose is.
And you chose that day to leave.
And when I got out the hospital, crystals were something that I already was interested in, but I didn't think that I was a creative person.
Okay.
So doing jewelry was something that I would see other artists, and I always was like, oh my God, this pretty. because at the time I lived in Atlanta, so like crystal jewelry was a really big thing on the art scene. So I always would be like, "Oh, that's so pretty! Like I wish I could do stuff like that." And when I came home from the hospital, I just was like inspired, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Michael's. I'm gonna get me some copper wire. I already got these crystals. I'm make me some jewelry, and
Okay.
I literally sat down with a few friends at the time. Didn't watch nothing. Just got the crystals.
Just hang
Start
out.
rapping.
Okay.
Literally that day, I made like 10 pieces, necklaces and rings. Had never made a necklace, had never made a ring in my life. I took pictures, put it on Facebook, just sharing what I did the day, and overnight I had a business.
Okay. That's good. That's powerful. That is really powerful, and I hope that if it's anybody else out there that wants to do it and that they feel or they need saving, that they will listen to those voices that from the ancestors or whoever and follow that so that it can heal them too. So before we go, tell us where we can find you on Facebook and Instagram so that if they want to purchase some pieces, they can find.
Yes, on Facebook, we are at Mystical Vibrations LLC. On Instagram, it is Mystic Vibes 2020. And you can also always visit us on our website at www.mysticalvibration.com.
Okay. And then you also have an upcoming event coming.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the vendors that you're gonna have there. And you touched on it earlier, but just let's tell everybody again.
Yes, this is my first time hosting an event, and I am also partnering with a friend. And this is the Energy is Currency pop up shop. It will be June 19th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Euphoria Lounge here in Birmingham, Alabama. I have amazing, amazing vendors. Some that I have is yours truly, Coco Tivity. We got her on the
Yeah.
drinks. I have myself, Mystical Vibrations. I have Adorned by Ashley. I have Ashley Mooney. I have Suki Apothecary. I have Spiritual Splash LLC. I even have Beauty is Pain on the piercings. So, yes, we're going to have a piercer in house. Come down, get your piercings. And then we're going to also have spoken word artists, and we're going to have poets and live entertainment as well. So, this will definitely be a day to remember. And again, it's June 19th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Euphoria Lounge.
Okay, y'all make sure y'all come out, get something to drink, hear the poets, get peers, whatever y'all need, y'all come out June 19th. Also, June 6th, I'm
Yes.
turning 30 again because I didn't get to celebrate properly last year because of Corona. So this year I'm having a pop up shop at Crown Me Boutique. The address is 2218 31st Street, Inslee. And right now I have about 27 vendors. So y'all come out June 6th. It's gonna be a live band. It's gonna be free mimosas while they last. I won't be working the drinks that day, but my team will be working. So make sure that y'all come out June 6th as well. If you need more information for to be a vendor, you can also contact me on Facebook. Look up Coco Harris. Um, and then, as always, I always want to thank my lovely sponsor, Anisha Mitchell, owner of Crown Me Boutique. She has a store full of new inventory. Again, she's located at 2218 31st Street, Inslee, Birmingham, Alabama 35208. And she's in the shopping center behind Applebee's by Deluxe Cleaners. So and then also, if y'all are in the Birmingham area, we have two events that I have two events I'm in, but we're in one together tomorrow that is at the American Legion on First Avenue, East Lake. So y'all come out.
Come
Yeah,
see
it's
us.
gonna be some good vibes, and we just good people. We like to network, we love on each other, we support each other, and that's definitely what it's all about in this business community. And I'm so glad I just love Drea's spirit. I met her. She get the sweetest hugs, and then her smile just brightens up the whole room. So thank you for being on the show tonight. We have to
Thank
connect.
you for having me.
I know you was a little nervous, but you did awesome. You are just so amazing.
Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye bye.